Right, so we got MOONO, the vocalist of MOONO, the man, the myth, the legend himself. We got Noizze as part of the Pwer Festival happening down Womanby Street right now. And this is one of the interviews that we're doing for the day. So talk to us about the day. How was the gig? What are you feeling so far?
I absolutely loved it. We basically, first and foremost, we went straight out. We basically played the intro. We locked ourselves in the little green room behind the back where they have all the monitors and whatnot, and someone locked us in.
What?
So it started going off, and we were like, what? As soon as the Wild Hunt finished, anyone who knows that.
Yeah.
We tried to open the door, we were locked in. It was like Spinal Tap. We were literally trying to push it open, we were like kicking the door.
Intro track's going on, you're trying to break through a door. Oh my god. Is there anything more rock and roll? You have to literally break boundaries so you can get on the fucking stage.
Max from Treehouse ended up coming over and was just like, why are you saying that?
What is happening here? What a metaphor for unsigned music of literally breaking down doors to play. I love it. Fantastic, man. Alright, sweet. So obviously you've been doing the festival as part of the show. So how's this year been coming for MOONO, and what's the rest of the year looking like, especially with the pandemic and figuring that out? Has that been a difficult sort of transition?
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult for the fact that we are so used to being in a room together. I feel like we're quite supportive of each other, especially for the type of music that we do, because it's all very depressing. So, I mean,
there's a cathartic element to that,
exactly,
at least, though.
Exactly. But yeah, I feel like it presented a lot of opportunities to demo and send them over, and it was efficient.
Yeah, of course.
And we ended up managing to get like a rule of 6. You remember when that was?
Yeah, I do.
So we managed to go to record while it was that, because it was just us four and the producer. So it was like perfect timing. So we managed to really work well within the boundaries that we had. Yeah, I forgot the other part of the question.
So, like, obviously now you've been working together, you're doing this collaborative thing. How's the rest of 22 sort of looking moving forward?
Okay. So we've got tours to announce, which I can't fully announce. We're playing, which we got.
Okay.
I'm really
big
excited.
coy, big cryptic. Okay.
Big cryptic. We are playing ArcTanGent, which I am fucking excited for.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Swear,
no, of course you can. I swore within 3 seconds of the interview. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, me and my partner went in 2019. It was like one of the best experiences. So to go there, play like my favourite stage for it as well.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, there was like all the bands that were playing that weekend on the Victor stage were like my favourite. Like Racket Cannon was the last time I saw them before they broke up.
Oh, wow.
All that sort of thing.
It's a big moment for you guys.
Yeah, I'm fucking well excited. So
it's just a lovely moment about being a band where you can actually start sharing stage with bands that you like grew up with and had a relationship with. It's got to be one of those heartwarming parts.
It's exactly like that, and I can't wait. And I feel like I don't usually love like massive bands apart from like Deftones or something.
Yeah.
But it's so nice to actually be on a lineup like that, because it's such a fucking honour.
Of course, it's a wonderful thing to be a part of. So you talked about this collaborative thing where you started. Almost the pandemic was almost like an efficient way of writing songs for you. Did that actually? How did that affect sort of the writing process? Were you a separate kind of band where it's like, oh, I've got this song idea, you come in and then you sort of work on it, or did the pandemic actually kind of force you to sort of share and jam and sort of see that as a process?
I get you. We just had to be so constructive, because like if we had to practice, we all live in like different areas. So Jamie and I live in Brighton, Chris in Dorchester, Harry in like St Albans.
Whoa.
Yeah. So when we travel, we like go over to Small Pond to rehearse, and those guys were super helpful. But mostly we got the foundation of demoing. Me and Jamie sent over some bits, sent over. Yeah, we just kind of nailed it out like that. Kind of smashed out the majority of it, and then. Just kind of improvised like 2 songs, and it kind of just ended up being a part of the EP, which was Miseria and Requiem and White Gold, I think. So those 3, even that's not 2. I can't count. But yeah, that was awesome. That's kind of in restriction to exactly obviously the pandemic. There was like splitting the atom, which we made up on the spot in the studio, which we kind of wanted an interlude.
So how does that happen? Like when you talk about making it up on the spot, what was the genesis of that type of track?
Sure. So the song that we had going from it and then into, so we had Miseria going into White Gold, which one song's about self-loathing and one's about basically being a lot of institutionalised racism and how that affects everyone, and obviously mostly black people, which is obviously just kind of the ignorance in the UK in general, and it's fucking tough to even accept or even fucking be a witness of, let alone even having to deal with that yourself. So having something to transition those things, we were like, okay, we want something that was influencing from the studio, and me and Jamie ended up playing like the piano. We were just fucking around because we were just we're kids at heart. We just
Yeah,
fuck
of
around. Like, we had like an alarm playing each other's ear the whole fucking time. We got banned. We wanted to go from that, and we were like, how do we get like white gold? And we were like, writing out like periodic table events. We had like a massive sheet. It was like fucking massive. We were just writing all these ideas. We ended up like periodic table elements like AU, and we were like, oh yeah, and we were talking about a massive attack, and we have a song called Splitting the Atom.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh wait, hold on, like kind of taking all the
connection here we could draw
from the
absolutely.
self-loathing to like institutionalized racism and how that affects one. And yeah, that's why we got Splitting the Atom, because we were like trying to.
Wow, that's really interesting.
So that was quite pretentious.
No, not at all, not at all. One man's pretentious, another man's intelligent, so don't worry about that in the
I
slightest.
love Radiohead.
Fantastic. There was an article I read about Radiohead a couple of years ago. It was like one of those joke articles, and it was like Radiohead would tune in, and it was like, it's new and expansive.
We were just like,
Fans excited at new Radiohead tune. It's like 3 hours of feedback. It's like Tom York's really going far this time. You know what I mean? So obviously we have to talk about the fact that we got baby earrings hanging off, right? Okay. There was a provocative stage presence in terms of sort of like, I want to call it a white dress, white nightshirt type of thing.
yeah, I felt like a ghost. I don't know, I dressed up like Casper or something.
That explains some of the eye makeup, almost the contrast as well. That's phenomenal. So we're talking about, obviously, big in the news at the moment is that obviously the abortion laws going on in America. Is that played into any of the design phase or anything like that?
Small. That's the reason why I dress up in dresses. Yeah, I'm super fucking against anything that's like negative against abortion, like pro-choice. Like, it's just
It speaks for itself, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's difficult because obviously we're three guys, and we fucking identify that that's obviously fucking wrong, but we don't even know about half of it. Like, we
absolutely.
have,
Can you make a decision based on an experience that you literally will never have biologically? It's never going to happen.
You will never fucking have. Like, and people never know. Like, my mum had like a really poor experience with with abortions, and it turns out if she didn't have those, I wouldn't have been born. So even if it was a pro-life option, like those two babies, never know.
Abortions have saved lives of the mother, let alone everything else. It's a ridiculous situation. Isn't it?
To the end of the fucking day, I will always back that, and that's why I do what I do. Like, Foster Smile is very much pro like LGBTQIA plus. Like, it's for anyone who has to suffer this sort of shit, because at the end of the fucking day, it's always a middle-aged white man fucking telling you, why is it up to them? Like, why would it be up to them? I mean,
not remotely representative either. So for you, is the music a vehicle for societal viewpoints, or do they collaborate? Is it music first and then the opinions come later?
That's a great question, because it usually bounces like to start with, like whether I write a riff and I'm like, oh cool, this could maybe be about this, and it's usually like, I never see myself delve into it. However, when I find myself so I like struggle sometimes with processing something, so I usually write like a poem. And that's just always happened since I was a kid. And
your way of expressing yourself when you think about it.
And whenever I'm really pissed off, that's usually what helps me. And then I end up, so I've been trying to get better at that, because before I would just be purposely winding myself up, like purposely and like antagonising myself to write something in that manner.
Just challenging yourself.
Yeah, whereas waiting for the moment, because let's be honest, there's a fucking million of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So waiting for that and then channeling that, which is a lot healthier way that I've dealt with a lot of things like that, a lot of challenging societal issues with like mental health.
That's really, really interesting. So you talked a little bit about stuff that you can't talk about necessarily, but it sounds like 2022 is a big year for MOONO. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'm very excited for the latter of the year and the beginning of next year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm very excited.
Man, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. MOONO, Noizze, thank you so much. It's been wicked. Hey, honestly, cheers. You guys are great.